Moscow's forces are preparing for a decisive combat phase in Russia's Kursk Oblast as they continue to replace lost heavy equipment with simpler, wheeled armored vehicles, Forbes says. This shift comes after significant losses, with Russian regiments in the region losing hundreds of pieces of heavy equipment since Ukraine's strong offensive that started in early August. Russia has already recaptured approximately half the territory lost to Ukraine following Kyiv's incursion into Russia's Kursk Oblast in August. The current Russian offensive comes amid Western concerns that Russia aims to reclaim territory before Donald Trump's presidential inauguration on the 20th of January. According to reports, a Ukrainian Marine Corps drone company stationed in western Russia's Kursk Oblast destroyed 22 Russian vehicles in November. The losses occurred during a skirmish on the 1st of December when Russian airborne forces attempted to charge Ukrainian positions. The skirmish marks just one chapter in a wider ongoing battle in the Kursk salient. Since the Ukrainian invasion of the area in early August, Russian forces have suffered significant losses, with Ukrainian forces destroying 364 pieces of Russian heavy equipment between the 6th of August and the 26th of November. These losses include tanks, infantry fighting vehicles, and trucks. Ukrainian losses, on the other hand, were slightly lighter, with 319 vehicles lost during the same period. As Russia counterattacks to eliminate the Ukrainian-held salient, which stretches over 650 square kilometers of western Kursk Oblast, its tactics are changing. With a deadline set by President Putin to secure a victory in the region by February 2025, the Russian military has begun increasing its focus on replacing the massive losses of tracked vehicles, which are more difficult to produce and maintain. This strategy comes as a response to the dire situation facing Russian forces in Kursk, following a series of Ukrainian successes, particularly in October and November, when Russian President Putin ordered an intensified effort to reclaim the salient. The battle is expected to escalate. Kriegsforscher described the latest attacks as a warm-up before the show, warning that Russia's coming assaults would likely be more intense and unpredictable. While Russian losses in Kursk have been catastrophic, the new emphasis on wheeled vehicles could present significant tactical challenges. Unlike tracked BMP-2s, which are highly mobile in rough terrain like mud and snow, wheeled trucks are limited to roads, making them more predictable for Ukrainian forces operating drones and artillery, Forbes says.
South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol's government early Wednesday lifted the martial law he imposed during a tense night of political drama in which troops surrounded parliament and lawmakers voted to reject military rule. Yoon said his government withdrew military personnel following a bipartisan parliamentary vote that rejected martial law, and the measure was formally lifted around 4:30 a.m. during a cabinet meeting. Yoon declared martial law late Tuesday, vowing to eliminate anti-state forces as he struggles against an opposition that controls the country's parliament and that he accuses of sympathizing with communist North Korea. Less than 3 hours later, Parliament voted to lift the declaration, with National Assembly Speaker Woo Won-shik declaring that the martial law was invalid and that lawmakers will protect democracy with the people. The president's surprising move harkened back to an era of authoritarian leaders that the country has not seen since the 1980s, and it was immediately denounced by the opposition and the leader of Yoon's own party.
존경하는 국민 여러분, 저는 어제 밤 11시를 기해 국가의 본질적 기능을 마비시키고 자유민주주의 헌정 질서를 붕괴시키려는 반국가 세력에 맞서 결연한 구국의 의지로 비상계엄을 선포하였습니다. 그러나 조금 전 국회의 계엄 해제 요구가 있어 계엄 사무에 투입된 군을 철수시켰습니다. 바로 국무회의를 통해 국회의 요구를 수용하여 계엄을 해제할 것입니다. 다만 즉시 국무회의를 소집하였지만 새벽인 관계로 아직 의결 정족수가 충족되지 못해서 오는 대로 바로 계엄을 해제하겠습니다. 그렇지만 거듭되는 탄핵과 입법농단, 예산농단으로 국가의 기능을 마비시키는 무도한 행위는 즉각 중지해 줄 것을 국회에 요청합니다. 감사합니다.
South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol declared an emergency martial law on Tuesday, accusing the country's opposition of controlling the parliament, sympathizing with North Korea and paralyzing the government with anti-state activities. Yoon made the announcement in a televised briefing, vowing to eradicate the shameless pro-North, anti-state forces. Through this martial law, I will rebuild and protect the Free Republic of Korea, which is falling into the depths of national ruin, Yoon said during the speech, invoking South Korea's formal name. I will decisively eliminate anti-state forces who have been wreaking havoc and are the main culprits of our nation's downfall, he said. It wasn't immediately clear how Yoon's step would affect the country's governance and democracy. The move drew immediate opposition from politicians, including the leader of his own conservative party, Han Dong-hoon. Opposition leader Lee Jae-myung, who narrowly lost to Yoon in the 2022 presidential election, called Yoon's announcement illegal and unconstitutional. Yoon, whose approval rating has dipped in recent months, has struggled to push his agenda against an opposition-controlled parliament since taking office in 2022. Yoon's Conservative People Power Party had been locked in an impasse with the liberal opposition Democratic Party over next year's budget bill. The opposition has also been attempting to pass motions to impeach 3 top prosecutors, including the chief of the Seoul Central District Prosecutor's Office, in what the conservatives have called a vendetta against their criminal investigations on Lee, who has been seen as the favorite for the next presidential election in 2027 in opinion polls. Yoon has also been dismissing calls for independent investigations into scandals involving his wife and top officials, drawing quick, strong rebukes from his political rivals. The Democratic Party reportedly called an emergency meeting of its lawmakers following Yoon's announcement.
친애하는 국민 여러분, 저는 북한 공산 세력의 위협으로부터 자유 대한민국을 수호하고 우리 국민의 자유와 행복을 약탈하고 있는 파렴치한 종북 반국가 세력들을 일거에 척결하고 자유 헌정 질서를 지키기 위해 비상계엄을 선포합니다. 저는 이 비상계엄을 통해 망국의 나락으로 떨어지고 있는 자유 대한민국을 재건하고 지켜낼 것입니다. 이를 위해 저는 지금까지 폐악질을 일삼은 망국의 원흉 반국가 세력을 반드시 척결하겠습니다. 이는 체제 전복을 노리는 반국가 세력의 준동으로부터 국민의 자유와 안전 그리고 국가 지속 가능성을 보장하며 미래 세대에게 제대로 된 나라를 물려주기 위한 불가피한 조치입니다.